Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. Now, we're a little bit later this week because I was away for the weekend, so it's taken me a little while to catch up with all the games and make sure I've actually watched a little bit, not just the highlights, which I just normally do. I catch the game and then just do the highlights normally. But United are an absolutely shocking state of affairs, to be honest. And I want to talk about some of the rookie mistakes that Ten Hag makes when you're that he did in this game. You don't ever change your centre-backs, okay? That's just something you just don't do. And I'm going to explain the reasons why. And the fact that he does that means he has just no understanding of what he's doing as a football coach. Especially, and I'm not a Harry Maguire fan, in this game, Harry Maguire was actually playing okay. You don't change them because unless they're injured or there's some serious problem, you've got to get them off, or they're just one of them is just getting burnt for pace, and you've got the other guy who's coming back from injury on the bench, and he's got all the pace, and there's a reason. When you put on De Ligt, you're putting him in a situation where if they concede a goal, all of his confidence is going to go. That's exactly what I said in the last video with Fulham. He got away with it in that one when he's bringing on his centre-back, and he didn't in this one. And also, the whole team structure is based on your two centre-backs doing a job, and all of a sudden, if you're changing that, the whole system and everything starts to crumble because they're the pillars at the back of your team. And you just don't change them. You just don't. You figure out the problems and you make everybody else try to adjust, and you make, and if there is a problem that you can kind of get away with, you fix it in the training session. You don't just, unless you're changing both centre-backs because the whole game's a wash, you don't do it because, you want to get him some minutes. It's not like you can change a winger and go, all right, I can give the winger 15, 20 minutes in this game. It's just a difference, position on the field. It's like changing the goalkeeper for 15, 20 minutes. You just can't do it because he's never going to be up to the pace of the game, and it's going to cause you problems. So on this first goal here as well, I'm going to do a little bit more of a rant about that, probably in another video, because I'm trying to collect some stuff together to actually put some really good long videos together. I'm bringing one out about Chelsea and their entire structure and why how they're doing it. And if you actually watch that, you'll learn probably more in that video about talent and age groups and transfer windows, transfer markets, and how cycles of football players go throughout the world than anything else you'll ever watch. I'll probably have it out by next week. You know me, it's not going to be greatly edited, but the content will be absolutely awesome. Now, if you're watching, I'm also leaving this up for a little while just to see if your eyes can take in what you're seeing. Now, the moment you stop this video here, the actual play here, you're going to see where they're going to score because you can see it a mile off. It's right there. This is the problem. And as a coach, you immediately know, oh my God, what are my centre-backs doing? You're completely and utterly out of shape, or you're completely utterly out of shape. You have to pick it. Well, technically, it's him here because the ball's here. He's been pulled over. By the way, he shouldn't be pulled over this much. So Maguire needs to come over and cover this gap here. That's what really needs to happen. And he needs to come over a little bit here. But also, I want you to watch what the United players are like. And this comes down to culture. And this culture comes down to how the coach expects things to happen. Because I'm telling you right now, if you're on my football field and I'm coaching you, you ain't acting like this. Watch how slow all the United players are. None of them run. They just stand around and watch. Okay? And watch this little guy here, right? Watch his body language in that body shape when this cross comes in. We're going to move this forward, right? Dosh, bump, in goes the ball. We've got two runners and we've got two people here. Okay, see, now here's the other thing. You're going, but Cash, Maguire's in the right spot. Yeah, I don't disagree. But you see, that means Martinez isn't. So he, personally, I would have said, even though if you're going by the textbook, right, what it will be saying is something like, well, the ball's on this side of the field, so the centre-backs will have to come over and cover it. No. I actually don't ever want my centre-backs getting pulled out past these posts. I'll say it a load of times. That's where I want one. Dush, where's the other one? Oh, he's not there. He's too far out of position. Why is he too far out of position? Because this guy's too far out of position here. And we've got players here. We've got enough players to deal with the pressure on the ball. And here's the funny thing. There's still no pressure on the ball. But watch the laziness of the Man United players on this when this cross goes over. Watch how they're moving. Walking, casual. Sprint. About to start sprinting. This guy, who's completely and utterly out of shape, doesn't even think about connecting back to Martinez and getting back into his shape. No, at all. Martinez doesn't know how to defend. Everyone thinks that he's a good defender because he didn't make any mistakes because he was injured last year. He's not that good of a defender. I'm telling you that now. He is going to make mistake after mistake after mistake. If he can't identify this situation here, he is not that good. He might be good with the ball at his feet and be able to play a pass or two, but people putting him up there thinking he's a good defender, I'm telling you he's not. He's okay. He's not good. Remember the levels. Great, good, okay, average. He's okay. He's just above average. That's the reality. Right, when this goes across here, Bosch, watch. See that guy that was kind of jogging? Yeah, look, off he goes. Now this guy, I think this is Kobe Manu, actually reacts to it. He starts making a move, but still walking, still with his hands up. Look at his body language. Why are you not playing football and you were complaining? You didn't close the cross down. Now it's somebody else's fault, and you need to be tucking in and helping your centre-back because what are you doing? I know I was on holiday for the weekend, but I was supposed to be. You're playing football. You shouldn't be on holiday. But let's just move it forward just a little bit more. I want to see if I can show you this right here. Oh my God, I did it and I didn't boomer it up. Right, so this is what I want to show you. Martinez is not watching the player in front of him. This guy's put his hand up. By the way, so's he. And he is completely and utterly ignored by this guy here. Now, remember the rule of defending. What you really want to do is you can only defend one space. Oh, wrong little clicky tool. Is the space in front of you. Behind you is somebody else's job. That's your job. You need to defend the space because behind him, you need to cover. Behind him, he needs to cover. He is. Maguire's got his man. He's defending his back. Who is defending Harry Maguire's back and defending this guy here? Well, that would be Martinez. You pick up the next guy. The guy that goes behind you is not your problem. That's somebody else's problem. You cannot do everything. Otherwise, you end up doing nothing. You just have to mark the guy and protect your other centre-back's back. He's going with that player. You have to come in and cover him. That's not your responsibility. That's his. You know that guy over here moaning and complaining with his hands up like that? That's his responsibility. Again, look how casual, walking pace they are. They don't even identify the danger. They don't realise there's 1, 2, 3 Brighton players right in front of the box and there's only 2 defenders. They just don't care. That comes down against attitude, and that attitude comes from the manager. If the manager doesn't care and he isn't expecting you to get back and defend, you don't. If you know there's hell to pay, I'm going to burn down your Ferrari if you don't do what I damn well tell you to do, you make sure you get back in. No one's bothered. No one's bothered. When this comes across now, do you see Martinez has taken that little step back away from this guy here, from Welbeck? I do like Danny Welbeck. He's so bad. He's good. I think he should have been such a better football player. I wish I'd ended up coaching him a bit. He's got the pace. He doesn't really have... I can make his touch better. Yeah, he's got so many good attributes. I do like Danny Welbeck. I have for years. And he's completely and utterly unmarked inside the 6-yard box. Just take that into account right now. He's unmarked inside the 6-yard box. This guy's still trotting back, paying no attention whatsoever. Now, again, if you're unmarked in the 6-yard box, that means defensively you have a massive problem with your shape. Massive. Huge. Dosh. In it goes. Oh, here he is waving up his hands again. Like, oh, it's your fault, mate. You should have been back. And has Martinez made a mistake? Yes. But here's where it gets really weird, right? So Martinez's mistake for not marking that player is a problem. But he's only not marking that player because Dallow's not got back and done his job correctly. So what ends up happening in football is you all blame Martinez instead of Dallow, because Dallow's really the culprit here. He's the one that really should be back fixing the problem that he's caused because he's not marking his player. But everyone will point out Martinez. And that's kind of how it goes in football, really, because they don't really have a deep enough understanding. The monkey see, monkey do. So they see the first little thing and they go, oh, that's what the problem is. But it's not. It's deeper than that. And that's the problem. You've got 2 or 3 problems wrong with their shape and their system. And that's, it's compounding and compounding. And that's why it looks like it's Martinez's fault. But it's not. It's really Dallow's. But also, you've got no midfielders coming back with these runners. Look, there's 3 players. There's 2 centre-backs. And there's an extra player. Well, where's the midfielders? No one's come back to help at all. But don't worry, we'll get onto the last goal as well because Man United do a terrible job on that one. Let's move it forward a little bit. Now, this is the one where they clear it off the line. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I'm going to show you the compounding problem again. Casemiro, look, up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. What do you think the problem is? Well, we don't really have a proper shaping system because we never seem to have any players back. Wow, why is that then? Because we don't quite know what we're doing. All right. So watch also the pace of this little wee man. He's burning through. Dosh. He's trying to go with him. But if you're getting that exposed 5-on-3 and you're getting exposed again defensively because your left back isn't coming in and covering, like, you've fundamentally got things wrong with your formation. Remember, shape and formation are 2 different things. Okay, remember that. Completely different. Your formation can be a 4-4-2, but you can be playing with a bank of 4 in midfield or a diamond in midfield as 4, which old AC Milan used to do with Pirlo at the bottom. It's still a 4-4-2. It's very, very different. So I don't think that they have any idea of how they're wanting to play, and they're going to get found out more and more as this season goes on. See, to me, to be honest, on this United goal, he looks offside. Doesn't he? He looks offside. If you look at that, he looks offside. Now, obviously, I'm not going to try to draw the lines. Let's do it so you can all laugh at Cash trying to be a... yeah. Oh... That's not a good line. You can see my squiggle there. Oh, yeah, unfortunately, I need a straight line rulery tool so I can draw. But yeah, that looks offside to me. It really does. Now, I tried to look to see on the VAR replays. Oh, what a shock. There isn't any. Don't worry. The Premier League is not corrupt. God, it's bad, isn't it? Yeah, also... They did a nice little, got to give United some credit where credit's due. Nice little passing around the midfield area there. Yeah, little one-touch passing. But this is where United are strong. On the flanks, with pace and power. Give it to them and let them run at defenders. That's what they should be doing, and they're not doing it enough. Let's just get on to how the goal goes into the back of the net box. He's pretty pacey, gets past him, does a good job. His cutback's not bad, but you've got 2 panicking centre-backs here, because someone's running at the goal or running at defenders. When you've got someone running at you, defenders tend to panic, and that's what they do. They both end up sliding the ball into their own goal. So as he cuts it back, look, Dosh, as he cuts it back, oh, there we go. We're changing the little thingy. All of a sudden, you can see they're actually sliding in right here, sliding in. Dosh, would the keeper have had it? Maybe. Yeah, maybe the keeper's got it. But you know what? You'll take your luck when you can get it. Gets themselves a goal, gets kind of back into the game from a... But you can see the panic. Look at everyone diving. I don't like that. I don't like all this diving around. You've got your keeper there for a reason as well. The keeper's probably going to save that. Look, you can see where it's going. It's close enough to the keeper. But there, they get themselves a goal. Look, Dosh. Yeah, the keeper's probably got that. Knees it into his own goal. That's always funny when defenders score own goals. Let's get on to the final goal because we've got a lot to say about it and a lot of interesting things to learn. So the corner's come across and they haven't really defended it, whatever, and it goes on. Now in the coaching circle worlds, they'll call this the second phase of play because they're muppets. They're absolutely morons, right? So, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because on coaching courses, coaches are morons because most of them are ex-players and they can't articulate a sentence, right? So what you have to do is you have to break down the phases of play for them and go, this is a corner. This is a thing, and now we learn to defend corner. Now we go to next thing, and we defend that. No, it's called playing football. So as you're playing football, you're doing all of these things, all at the same time. When you start telling people that this happens and that happens, what happens is you start putting them in boxes and structures, right? So each box is a little tiny area. Now, oh, well, that box is finished. Now I've done my job. I don't need to worry. No. And that's what happens subconsciously. It happens all the time. You can pick anything that you do. Like if you've stacked shelves in a supermarket, someone will say, do that, you do the little thing and then you stop. You could have done the next part as well, but you refuse because, well, it's not my job, it's not my aisle. Yeah, but you're not going to get out of work until that's done. Yeah, but it's not my aisle, it's not my work. I don't stack the milk and sugar, I just do, the tea and biscuits over here. Actually, I was in the tea and biscuit aisle, that's kind of funny. But that's how the mindset becomes. If you start saying, okay, these are the rules and dictated, instead of just saying, no, we need to be playing football here, always expecting what's going to happen next. And United last season were always panicking on corners. If you go back and look at my videos last year, they were always rushing back and having 2 people on the line. Now, Ten Hag is now, I think he's trying to fix this because they conceded a lot of goals from corners. All of a sudden now, look how many players are running towards the ball. First off, it's shocking that he's unmarked at the edge of the box in the first place. I am quite happy they've got somebody up here in the D. We do love it when someone stood in the D because this is the most... I do think that this area here, if you want to score goals or defend them, you defend in the D because that's where a lot of balls drop from corners and you can get yourself goals all the time. However, here there is no pressure on the ball. But look at the fact that not one of these Man United players is looking behind them or looking around anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all staring at the ball. Last minute of the game, mind you. And this goes down to, I think, Harry Maguire's off the field. And quite frankly, I don't think he's very good. But he was playing well in this game. Got to give him some credit. He's He's not really a leader, but he plays the role of being a leader. And if you can understand what I mean by that concept, is you're not looking for Harry Maguire to be the best leader on the football field, but he's carrying you and your guys forward because he's got experience, he's been there, and he's probably calling somebody to do a job here, or maybe picking this up. But you don't know now because you've got De Ligt in there for some reason because the coach is a muppet. Now, when we move this forward, watch any of the United players' heads turn. No, they're all running and sprinting at the ball. That is completely and utterly lack of game awareness of what's going on. No one has done a quick check. Dump, turn your head, look at the ball, look at the player, look at the ball, look at the player. No one is checking. What's the keeper doing? You can see that there's two people on the back post already starting to drift, starting to get through. Now we've moved on to the next problem because every single United player is doing the same job. Look at them. They're like school children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all running towards the ball. All of them. You know when I was saying that they don't have their shape and structure correct and they don't understand what formation they're really doing? This is how you know why it's true. Because if they had their shape and system and structure and everything was proper, they would know exactly who needs to be going to press this ball and everybody else would be getting back in their shape and their structure and their system to defend correctly. They wouldn't be chasing the ball like the under-10s down the road and trying to all win the ball back at the same time. Absolutely shocking. Again, though, no one's identified the player on the back post. Oh, well, these two, actually. These were the first two here. I'm not so worried about him. Yeah, it does count. But you know what? The keeper should be well aware of this going on. I know he's got to keep his eye on the ball, but he should be... So one of the things with keepers is they've got normally better eyesight. This is one of the things no one really talks about because they don't bloody well know. So like people like David Beckham, their peripheral vision, they can see out the left and the right so much further than you and I can. The reason for that, well, it's because genetics. That's it. That's why they can pick passes and see stuff. They're looking dead ahead, but they can see stuff to the left and right of them much, much easier because, well, they've got better eyes. Goalkeepers generally do as well. Their peripheral vision isn't so tight. It is a little bit further out. And yes, I'm trying to get a new webcam so I can actually, you can see my waving hands and stuff. So it's very, that keeper there could probably see him and the ball at the same time. And he can make everybody aware of him. And the reason he's going to see the player is because the player's got his arm up telling everybody what he's trying to do. So, let's just move this on ever so slightly. Now United, you know, they've got a worse shape than an under-10s team. All of a sudden, with one pass, all of those rushing on players have been taken out of the game. All of them. What I think is cute as well is look at this. Here we are, we're marking someone there and just completely oblivious to all of this back here. Completely and utterly oblivious. What are you doing? He's out for a picnic. Oh, look, we're going to try to mark him. These two don't know what they're doing. There's no real pressure on the ball. This is a common thing in the Premier League as well. People aren't pressuring the ball. They're standing in front of it, but there's no pressure on there, so the guy can still just get his cross over. It is rampant through the Premier League, and that is bad coaching. Well, bad players and then bad coaching, because the players can make the mistake. If they do it the first week, okay, fine. But if they keep doing it the second and third week, that means the coach hasn't addressed it, and he needs to. Yeah, but there we go. Let's just move this on. Touch. Dodge takes his little touch. Look at how bad this shape is. Look at these two idiots right next to each other here. Two idiots right next to each other here. Let's just, I think it is, right? That's the back four. That's the back four. In a space of about 8 yards. Altogether, defending the 18-yard box. That's the midfield. Maybe a little bit more spread out in about 10 yards. You know what I was saying about their shape and structure and system is completely up the wazoo? Yeah, look, there's their defensive midfielder. There's their four. Look, that is their entire team shape, and you can throw a blanket over them. They're that close. They don't know what they are doing. And if this is happening, I don't care if it's the 90th minute or the first minute. You can see it throughout the game and all of the little clips and all the little stuff. They just don't know where to be and what to do. And I don't want to hear this, oh, they haven't played together, new players. Absolute rubbish at this point. I think Ten Hag's been there, this is his third season? It is shocking. Shocking all over. Let's just move this on. Bosch, on it goes. Oh, and they're queuing up on the back post. I still think the keeper should have done better. I really do. I don't rate this guy, never have. I think it's one of the Man United's biggest problems. You know, I was talking about the structure of the two centre-backs. That comes with the goalkeeper. And when they got rid of David De Gea, I think they really went on a downward spiral since then, having this clown in goal. I think he's conceded more goals than anybody, like also for United ever or something. Yeah. So, no, the first one, the fastest to concede something like 60 goals in the Premier League, I think, or something like that. In it goes. Bosch into the net box. Oh, and look, they're all shocking and wondering about why they've let another goal in. Other than that, I can go on a rant about this for quite a while. I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.